facing their debt could be a major problem. Let's ask Lee Perlman. He's a bankruptcy attorney joining us now from Philadelphia. Lee, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Lee, it just seems like a huge problem. If this is really the case and we continue to see these bankruptcy numbers rise like this, are Americans just saying, hey, I can't pay my bills, this looks like the next best option?
Well, I think there are a lot of problems with respect to the current bankruptcy crisis. We're on par in 2009. I think we're at about 1.5 million filings. My prediction at the rate that we're going, I think we could see in 2012 almost 2 million consumer filings. Those are non-business filings. It's reached a crisis level. I think there are a couple of major reasons why it's really so pronounced now. Number one is our unemployment rate. It's approaching 10%. In my practice, I'm not seeing it get any better. Clients are receiving unemployment extensions. They're on 2, 3 unemployment extensions, and the unemployment isn't really able to carry their housing costs. That's one major problem. The other problem that we're seeing is the mortgage modification process that the administration put in place has really been, in my opinion and in my observation through my consumer bankruptcy practice, an abysmal failure. The HAMP program, the homeowner, the affordability modification program, is a failure. The program provides people an opportunity to modify. There's no incentive for the mortgage companies to modify the mortgages. The servicers who are collecting payments are different entities than the trust, the people who own the notes. They lose paperwork. They're different representatives that the consumers are dealing with.
We've been seeing that a lot too. That the numbers just aren't holding up. I mean, these people who desperately and legitimately are homeowners who lost their job and maybe would like to keep their home and would like to modify their loan, want to continue making the payments. They're just not being given any options by a lot of banks out there. Let's also talk about, you mentioned the unemployment situation. Sandra went through the different chapters. There are different levels of chapters of bankruptcy. But there's also this personal responsibility aspect. I mean, I'm wondering if people are just as they are from their homes, walking away from their homes, taking the easy way out. We reformed bankruptcy laws, I think, in 2005. That was supposed to stop this careless recklessness and hold people accountable. What do you say about that? Is it a lot of people not being responsible and just, as Sandra said, throwing in the towel, an easy way out?
Well, I think there's certainly some responsibility on the mortgage, the mortgage end, on the mortgage association end. I mean, many of the borrowers are coming in. Their mortgage payments represent more than half of their monthly income. So, recently, when somebody comes in and as part of their monthly budget, their mortgage payment represents such a high portion, there's not an opportunity to reorganize. It is true that Congress...
Isn't that one of the biggest problems, though, is that people, they used to tap into the equity in their home to try to pay the bills when things got bad.
Their credit card bills, which got them into the trouble in the first place.
But now they don't even have any equity in their home, so probably that's exacerbating the problem here.
It's exacerbating the problem, and there's an issue about how and on what level you want to deal with these foreclosure problems. Many of the clients that I'm seeing simply are coming in and they're handing me the keys. They're saying I can't handle the payments. The payments have accelerated. The mortgage company's sending back my payments, and I need an opportunity to reorganize. I need some breathing room. And Chapter 7 allows somebody that opportunity.
Absolutely. But in the end, doesn't everybody pay for it for a bankruptcy? I mean, the credit card companies that don't get repaid, they charge everybody else higher fees. They got to make up that money someplace. So in the end, it's bad for the economy having all these bankruptcies.
Yeah, I don't know that the data necessarily supports that. If you look at some of these studies, particularly the studies from Elizabeth Warren and the personal responsibility argument, I think that most of the people that you're seeing, the number one reason or the number two reasons are medical costs, housing costs, and divorce. The personal responsibility and the charging up of the credit cards, that's really a myth that's been perpetuated by the credit card companies, and it's not the common client that I see in my practice. The other issue that I wanted to bring up is...
We're running out of time, Lee, but my point to clarify on that is still, if they're not paying those health care bills, well, the hospitals are passing those costs on to other people, us, and doctors as well. That was my point with there. We'll bring you back again. We're out of time for now, but Lee Perlman,
bankruptcy attorney. Thank you very much for joining us from Philly.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Lee.
All right. On tap.